Hello, everybody. This is Waldorf.
And this is Statler.
And continuing our series of sneak peek from the Army books, today we're looking at the Highborn Elves.
Right. So this can be found on the ACD. That's a rock group.
Minus a
ACS,
letter,
yes. Yeah, whatever. ACS update thread in the general discussion.
On the general discussion forum.
Or on the dashboard, you can find links to some of this.
Who posted that?
Bond Beer.
Thank you. Just checking. It was funnier when you were doing it unintentionally every time, but now it works even as well.
It's not intentional at all.
All right. Highborn Elf updates. First thing we have is, let's see. First thing they officially released, and we start with the typical disclaimer that everything's subject to change.
Everything is subject to change.
And here's the concept: elves carrying trinkets. I can understand.
Yes,
that kind of fits
on their charm bracelet.
So if we're talking about elves, we can
call
these
them trinkets. All right.
In my book, you can do what you want, but we'll start with the Book of Miladies.
So orcs and goblins. What are you going to call them? Shinies.
Shiny objects.
Just shinies.
Shinies.
Yeah.
Shiny objects. Whatever. They're not going to be trinkets. You know what would be funny is if they took an army like orcs, gave them no magic items, but they could use certain things from other people's books because they'd stolen them.
Yeah, there you go.
They have none of their own that were created for themselves. Yes. Anyway, we'll start with the Book of Melodies. Melodies.
I like Miladies better.
Melodies. Anyway.
It's not melodies, it's milady.
It's Miladies.
Yeah.
Miladies.
Yeah.
It's a dominant item. It was deemed functional item in 1.3 or remain staple, so it's not changing.
Okay.
Oh, well, there you go. That was interesting.
Yes.
The Amethyst Crystal.
Non-dominant.
Downgraded its power level in order for it to be non-dominant and removed it from competition with the Arcane item slot. Can be taken alongside the Wand of Arcane Power or Book of Miladies. This is deeply dependent on balance review and may be subject to update.
Okay.
So it's a work in progress.
Yeah. They're not really telling us a lot here.
No, they're not.
Ring of Pearl Throne. Certain enemy items will stop working when in this is the generic stuff. It looks like so far.
And your Shimmer and Shine, your Griffin and Young Dragon characters do not want to leave home without this. This will increase their ranged survival rate significantly. Unfortunately, not available for bigger dragons.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm assuming this is going to give them hard target.
Yeah, probably. I need it because they've the mid-sized monsters. While they've made them nice, they're just
cannon bait.
Yeah. They're so easy to one-shot now.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And the Shielding Gem.
Don't let your Highborn characters leave without a good ward save. Take the Shielding Gem with you. Okay, it's not telling us anything.
These aren't really telling us anything.
Scroll down, please.
I don't think they do anything here.
Is it no more?
No.
Okay,
it was just on the next spoiler.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
It's just kind of a setup. There's stuff happening. Okay, go back. So it's not. It's the early form of spoiler.
It's a pre-spoiler.
Actually, when you scroll up on this, when you go into it, you'll see there's a whole bunch of other pre-spoilers on this thing. But here we get some meat.
Think so?
Yeah.
Usual disclaimer.
That's just a disclaimer.
Get on the details of 2 new magic items.
Yes.
Here we go.
Shimmer and Shine.
Did we just talk about this? We just talked about that.
But this tells you what it actually does, and it's a stupid name, work in progress name. You bet it is. Not very elvish sounding.
Yes. It's for Cav only, and look at that. Bearer gains hard target.
Yep.
-1 to hit for enemy shooting, including cannons. We thought about including more bonuses into it, but the more you add, the risk not being able to fit it. Okay, yeah, good.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Hard target is good for a monster. I mean, of course it says it's not going to work on the big dragon, but...
Well, hard target is good for elves in general. Shame they don't have more of it.
Now we got the Star Metal Shield.
Yes. It's a shield enchantment. The first time the bearer's model suffers an unsaved wound from an attack with devastating blow, the number of wounds suffered is halved. The first time.
Okay.
All right.
So
Hopefully,
your first cannonball attack gets halved.
yeah.
So
Hopefully,
you can't get killed by it.
yeah, or your whack attack, whatever the heck it's called. The
Dragons are not completely crippled after take such hits. Yes, you heard well. Dragons can also benefit from it.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
That helps.
the big dragon can benefit from it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. So it's saying the cannonball will only do between 2 and 3 wounds now, instead of 3 and 5.
Right.
Okay. Only wounded by multiple wounds, so you can't shoot it off with a bow, basically.
It'd be 1 and 3, right?
No, because the minimum's 3 with a cannon.
Oh, because of clipped wings. I'm sorry. Yes.
Right. So it used to be 3 to 5.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that is a benefit. It doesn't get triggered by the first bow shot you get hit by.
Right.
It has to be multiple wounds.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
It's one time. Okay.
It's a nice item.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it.
Grey Watchers update.
Yes. What do we do
That's
here?
their scouts.
Yeah.
There's their usual spoiler. And they talk about reasons and stuff.
Okay, which is, I mean, something I'm going to say again. We love that when they're doing this, they're talking about the thought process that went behind it.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, at least they're explaining what they thought about. And I think that's a wonderful thing.
Great when they do these.
It's a level of transparency. This is as far as I need to go with transparency as far as I can.
Their offensive defensive skill is 4. They lose their scout.
Oh, they're 4, not
5s or 6s.
Oh, that's for close combat. So yeah. Okay.
They lose their scout as their default and instead becomes an upgrade.
Upgrade for one of them.
Yeah, which is good because if you're paying, you don't want to pay for scout, and scout's not that great anymore.
Yeah, and I think one of their things is they don't have a lot of special deployment is one of their weaknesses.
They lose bitter arrows and instead gain chloroform fumes.
Yeah, bitter arrows were just poisoned.
Chloroform fumes, melee and shooting attacks, melee and shooting.
They gain accurate, so they don't pay for long range.
Okay, and become 0-2.
So they have a longbow and they have paired weapons. It must take a resilience test for each hit using the resilience that the largest fraction of models in the unit has. Use the higher value in case of a tie. If one or more resilience tests are failed, all models in the unit are affected by the chloroform fumes until the start of the active player's next turn. So it's a model is affected by one or more chloroform fumes, suffers -1 to hit modifier.
For both shooting and close combat attacks.
So basically, you wound them, and
when a unit
because resilience test is
hit
is the current toughness test, right?
Yeah. So for each hit,
Yeah.
when a unit is hit, not wounded,
By attack, well, isn't you get wounded by failing your resilience, right?
it must take a resilience test for each hit using a resilience. No, this is in addition to taking your wounding. Because you don't take a resilience test, the guy rolls to wound.
Right.
This is saying for every hit the unit takes, if you've got the unit, if you're the elf,
Right.
you hit me 4 times.
Right.
I immediately take 4 resilience tests.
Oh, after he's rolled against my resilience to wound me?
It looks like it happens between the two.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of
I
weird.
immediately take my test. If I failed, I'm -1 to hit from now on in this combat, or at least for the next full turn. And then you go ahead and then roll to wound. I roll my saves, whatever. I guess you could do it after with the same effect, but
This seems overly
complex and cumbersome.
and cumbersome.
Well, I think it's streamlined.
Yeah.
I
I
think the word you're looking for is streamlined.
Yeah.
Suffers -1 to hit modifiers both shooting and close combat hits. And how long does this last?
Okay.
Until the start of the active player's next player turn. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a turn.
Okay. Basically, and the Queen's Companion can purchase this
Right.
and Scout
Deploy in
in
units.
such case, but may only employ in units of great weapons.
I think it's Grey Watchers.
Grey Watchers. Haha. Yeah, should have known that. Being a special force boss to avoid situations where she could trigger the whole -1 effect. Okay. Okay. It's different.
It helps you with your anti-shooting, so I think that's kind of interesting. Shoot at a war machine or something to
Give it -1 to hit.
give it -1 to hit.
And you're getting long bows, so you
Getting
got a
long
30-inch
bows, not
range.
regular bows. They shoot pretty far, so I can see a use for it. I think the rule's a bit overly
Cumbersome.
cumbersome with, but yeah, it'd be easier if it wounded once that happened. But
If you're wounded, yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently you don't even have to be wounded.
yeah, you just have to hit, and then you make a whole bing how many hits you get, which you should. At
Because
ballistic
it's-
skill 4 accurate, you should be
Because
hitting a lot.
apparently your arrows have gas on them, and it's exposing
Yeah.
them to this gas.
Yeah, I understand the
The
concept.
more hits,
It's-
the more blah blah blah, and whatever.
It just seems to be, more complicated than it needs to be. But
Agreed. But okay, I can see the use for it.
yeah, I definitely can see the use. I'm curious I don't know what the minimum size unit on these things is, if they're 5 or 10.
Yeah, I mean, actually, this is actually really good. Now, the more I think about it,
It doesn't tell you what they hit on. I think they hit on. I think they're BS5 now, aren't
okay, so it's probably going to be a 2
they?
unit.
Are they, or is that just the Queen's
I
Guard?
don't know.
I don't
I think
remember.
that might be just. I don't know.
For some reason, I think they're 5. I could be wrong.
But no, I mean, you have these big units even the big units I've run of 50 archers, goblin archers.
Right.
Fire 1 round in this, and they're -1 to shoot back.
Exactly. No, it's very useful.
It's actually really good.
No, I think it's very helpful. I mean, I like anything that helps elves deal with counter shooting, because it's kind of a weird thing in the game that the most long-lived, you're supposed to be best archer, are the ones that are most vulnerable to it. They haven't figured out how to have a big shield.
Well, they're really good at it.
Yeah, that's,
Just not good at dealing with it.
you'd think they would have figured that out after 1,000 years.
No, come on.
Maybe just we need a large shield that would help us.
Maybe
A little more armor. Why would we want that? You know?
maybe they're looking forward to going to the next
Yes.
happy place.
Yeah, they only go to the happy place if they die by archery or fire magic.
Exactly. So they want.
know, yeah.
So therefore, they've made sure they've been very
Exactly.
vulnerable to those two things.
Exactly.
All right. You make every elf fireborn or what?
Yeah.
That's the Grey Watchers. So moving on, we have more.
I think I think it's a neat upgrade.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a little cumbersome rule, but it's a neat upgrade.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what do with this? We'll start with the knight, blah blah blah. Okay.
It's just his fluff.
Fluff stuff.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
he was smiling. Okay.
And
Yes,
then,
a usual thing telling you. Okay.
Spear of the Blazing Dawn. Ancient Dragon requires a slight redesign. Oh, this is the Ancient Dragon.
Okay.
First. So it's considered it's Resilient 7. It had to go and became Resilient 6.
So there's no more Resilient 7 dragons.
That's going to upset some elf players, I know.
Yeah. I guess I'll explain it, because dragons aren't exactly all over the place right now, because as slow as they fly.
So they did give it an extra health point
Okay.
to make up for it. A second was discussed but decided against.
I'd actually like to see more of that. Less toughness, more wounds on monsters.
Yes, so they're easier to wound, harder to, but roughly the same to
So
kill.
rank and file could actually fight them and do something.
15 side, there was deemed enough compensation. They talked about adding other things to it.
Right.
But in the end, summarize the changes. Ancient Dragon got -1 toughness,
Oh, wait,
+1
hold
hit
on.
point,
After
and
vote,
fly.
they include option of extra health point and extra
Yeah,
march rate.
That's what I
So
was
they
about
can.
to say right there.
Yeah, okay. So
They're
you know.
fly
Okay.
7/16.
Yeah, okay. So they made it a little faster. That's nice, because they were just too slow.
Right. So it's a trade-off. Lost to toughness, got a hit point, and a little bit extra flying.
Yeah.
Because it used to be fly 7/14.
Yeah.
So
Now you have that item you can take to at least say half the damages for the getting shot at, I
for
guess.
the first round.
Yeah.
For the first shot.
Yeah, for the multi-wound stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I really like the 7 on it, but yeah.
You liked what?
I like the 7 on it.
The 7 on tough 7?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Because there's a number of, strength 6 out there that you felt a little bit better against. So
And again, they talk about this.
I think it's a slight nerf overall.
It is.
But yeah, but it's okay.
Again, it's kind of there's the description of
Yeah.
what they discussed.
Yeah, they went through
how
it.
they came up with it,
Yeah.
and they do the same thing here about the Spear of the Blazing Dawn.
Not a slight nerf.
What's that?
Not a slight nerf.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
Oh, the Spear of the Blazing
Yeah.
Dawn. Oh, where do you see there's a slight nerf?
Keep going. There's
Okay.
not.
So Spear of the Blazing Dawn. Attacks with this weapon gain +1
So
strength.
you can only enchant a spear. It's restricted
Right. So
to
it has
weapon
to be on a
type.
spear. +1 strength, +2 AP, and magic attacks. Each successful hit roll multiplies to 2. So your spear already, by virtue of being a spear, already has +1 AP.
Yes.
+2 if you get charged in
Correct.
front.
Correct.
But we'll just go with +1 AP.
Yes.
So basically, with this, you're going to be +1 strength, which is going to give you
Strength 5.
a base guy's strength 5. Your strength 4 is already giving you 1 AP.
Yes.
So you're going to gain 1 AP, one from your strength, 1 from your spear, 2 from your AP from the weapon.
Yes.
So your strength 5, AP 4,
Right.
unless you get chat
Magical attacks.
with magical attacks,
And you get all your
and your
successful hits count as 2.
and your 4 attacks can multiply into 8.
8 hits.
That's pretty good.
It's very good, yes. But it is only limited to spears.
You're only strength 5. Whew, this guy is going to eat Cav
Oh, yeah.
alive.
Cav cannot charge to the infantry unit. Well, and the thing is, reality is going to get the full bonus because he's a spearman, so he's going to be on foot anyway.
I don't know if a Cav unit parks out in front of me, I'm charging it with this guy
Yeah,
because he's going to tear him up.
Yeah, if you get close enough.
If they
But
get too close,
they definitely don't want to charge it because then
they can't charge him.
you get even the extra benefit.
And then he goes up to AP 5
Yeah. Yes.
and bumps his initiative, which probably won't matter. But
The initiative
unless
won't
it's
matter,
another
but
elf.
yeah.
It's another elf charging him.
Yeah, it'll stop elf cavalry from charging them. Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what does this mean? Means that a Highborn Prince with this will gain 4 attacks, agility 8, strength 5, AP 4. That is unaccepted turn when charged. Case will get 4 attacks, agility 10,
Yes.
strength 5, AP 5. Whew. Okay. So against normal rank and file, it normally land 3 hits, which then becomes 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
It all depends how much this thing costs. I think it's a little strong, but
It's very strong against a lot of stuff.
yeah.
It's strength. You're going to be strength 5 with it.
Yep.
So that's even good against Chaos Warriors or whatever.
Yeah. Don't
Warriors
mind.
of the Dark God guys, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's good against
Because
everybody.
they're tough 4 with armor.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good.
Well, it
against
pretty much ignores any foot troop armor. Even dwarves have to,
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're hitting dwarves on 2s, wounding them on 3s.
Yeah, and then cavalry won't have much armor to talk about at all. Definitely
No.
not on the first turn they charge.
Wow. Okay. Is this a foot only?
It's a spear, so yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because it's a spear. Thank
Yeah.
you. I didn't see it being restricted to foot, but I saw
Yeah.
this, and
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
the spear restricts you to foot.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. That's a nice weapon for eye on foot.
It's really nice. I mean, it depends what it's going to cost, of course, but
Right. It's all in the cost.
and I guess it, helps elves take foot guy. Highborn elves take foot
Encourages
characters.
them to take a foot
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Spear of the Blazing Dawn, and that brings us to the Hereditary spell update. The Glowing Sigil.
Mm-hmm.
Sigil. If we ever get to it. There we go.
Okay.
Scroll.
Scroll.
Steps. Highborn Ways. What's this? Okay,
This is fluff.
fluff.
Telling you here
Here
go.
it is.
Glowing Sigil. Name is work in progress. Glowing
That's not a
Sigil's
bad name.
Not a bad name. It affects the caster. Lasts 1 turn. Immediately after successful casting the spell.
Better than sparkly and shiny like that last one.
Yeah, you're right
Okay,
about that.
Sorry.
Add 2 Veil tokens to your Veil token pool.
Okay.
So if we are understanding a little bit of, we've heard you get, casters get Veil tokens and you have a pool of them. You convert them into magic dice, I think.
You convert 3 of them. For every 3, you convert them into a magic
Yeah.
dice.
So when a
From
unit
what I
within
saw.
18 inches of the caster would lose a health point, 1 Veil token may be discarded instead. This is done after saves and devastating blow multipliers, and the health point loss is ignored. For standard infantry, up to 2 health point losses are ignored per token, provided that they are suffered simultaneously. Maximum of 2 Veil tokens may be spent per game phase for each purpose. Characters and gigantic models can only ignore a single lost HP this way per phase.
Per phase.
Yes.
For those who haven't read the new scroll, additional magic dice. The magic phase has veil tokens. Veil tokens will be exchanged at 3 to 1. These can be saved for subsequent phases. Different uses to interact with, as long as the glowing. So, if I'm reading this right, I don't know how many veil tokens you can get, but say I have 4 veil tokens.
Yep.
So over the course of the next turn, I can ignore 8 wounds to my infantry unit, as long as they're happening into different phases of the game.
Yeah,
in my combat phase, they take 2 wounds. I get rid of a token, ignore them.
Or up to 4 on your characters and gigantic models.
Yeah, in the opponent's following shooting phase, he plucks off 2 more.
Yep.
Or 3 more. I put 2 of them back.
Yep.
His magic phase, he kills a few more. I put 2 of them back.
Yep.
And then his magic phase, he kills a couple more, and I put 2 back.
Yeah.
Oof. This looks really good.
This looks a bit, excessive.
And now if I read this right, I can save 4 wounds on my ancient dragon as well, the same way.
Exactly.
As long as it's spread over multiple phases.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Highborn Elves should be very happy with this.
Yeah, I think this is a bit excessive.
It is a spell they have to cast, though, right?
Yeah.
It's not just an ability, so...
Yeah.
I guess there is
I mean, it'll depend with the casting. I mean,
oh,
if the casting
didn't even
value...
notice this. Yeah, I'll overlook that.
Yeah, they get 2.
No matter what, it's automatically giving you 2.
Right, plus what you already have.
Plus what you already have. Oof.
And whatever you brought over from the previous... Whatever you got this turn, whatever you brought over from the previous phase...
Plus an additional 2.
And plus an additional 2, so yeah.
Wow.
So you trade in, you're going to trade in, I guess, probably... I mean, it depends what it takes to cast it. If it's a 2 dicer, you're trading in 6 to get, and you get 2, and you can use them, so...
I don't know. This is probably okay as long as the casting is like 20.
Yeah.
Right?
It depends what the casting value is.
Maybe 18.
But I can't imagine them having a really high casting value on a trait spell.
Hereditary spell or whatever.
Or hereditary, whatever it's called. Yeah, this one just seems a little much to me.
This is scary because the other one, remember they used to have the one where you could give a unit a token where they could ignore that one.
In old 8th edition,
and it carried around. No, that was in 9th because we reviewed it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because we came up with that thing is what happens when they split off
and
join together.
Right.
Anyway, and that was deemed to be too good.
Yes.
This is better.
I think so, yeah.
Because you're not putting it on something that the opponent sees out there and says,
and can say,
okay, I'm not going to hit him that turn.
I'm going to go with this other guy. No, this is really good.
This is as needed.
Yes.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
And it's got a good range, 18 inches.
18 inches, plus if you have probably going to have that, I don't know if it's going to still be there, they have that one ability that lets them extend everything by 6.
Yeah, we'll have to say, we have to assume that they still have it. But
assuming they still have it, that makes this 24.
Yeah.
This looks really, really powerful.
And we don't know if they have other bonuses to get more veil tokens, whatever.
I mean, it would be different. It would still be fantastic if this was a single lost hit point per turn. But this is single lost hit point per phase.
Yeah, that's what makes it just over the top.
Yeah. Wow.
Per turn per unit would still be really good.
Yeah, no. I'm saying it would still be really good, but it's fantastic.
But per phase is just way over the top.
You know what? If the opponent casts this and gets it off, you know what you do? You don't shoot at him and teach him a lesson.
Yeah, there you go.
You wasted your spell.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess. Oof, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, this is.
This might need a little bit of work.
I think this one needs work.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is a work in progress, so.
Yes.
Maybe somebody will.
It'll come.
Tweet.
It'll become clear after a little bit of playing once the things are released.
I hope so. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we're looking at it wrong.
Could be.
And that's good. Anyway, all right. That was the last one from the Highborn Elves. Let's get out of here before we get in trouble.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Till next time.
Hey everybody, we're just pending this on the end of our post on the Highborn Elves preview.
Another Band-Aid job.
Or the first, if you're just listening.
Yeah, it depends on the order, I suppose, yes.
The Highborn Elves added a couple extra things. They added the Master of the Carnrig Tower. A lot of reasoning behind it, what they were thinking behind it. Blah, blah, blah. Look at that. Lots of stuff there.
Okay.
But then this is what it comes down to. So the Master of the Carnrig Tower becomes models on foot only.
Which it was before.
They did get rid of the
One honor per
0
army.
to 1. So you can have 2 of these guys now.
Yeah, or 3.
Or 3, apparently. Model gains Wizard Apprentice, Multilateral Knowledge, and Master of Spellcrafting. So, don't know what any of that stuff means. Anyway, next.
But I'm guessing that it means you can take spells from all the...
Pick your spells, you Master of Spellcrafting, make me... I don't know.
One of them, I'm sure, means you can pick spells from more than one lore and use it.
Okay. And the other one probably means you don't have to choose before the game. It doesn't have to be written on your... Doesn't have to be written on your army list. I'm assuming.
That's
anyway
what we're guessing. And Swordsorn is just a Swordmaster
That's
special
the
rules.
Swordmaster, and it tells you. See, Swordmaster special unit.
Yeah.
So now the model knows 3 spells and has access to Alchemy, Cosmology, Druidism.
Excuse me, Cosmetology.
Cosmetology.
Please use a proper term.
Druidism, Shamanism, and Witchcraft. So
Yes.
he gets a couple extra choices in there than what he had before. And he always knows the Oaken Throne in addition to all these spells.
So he's an apprentice that actually knows 3 spells.
Correct. In addition to the Oaken Throne.
Which is, the trait spell.
The trait spell for Druidism.
So he always gets a trait spell for Druidism, but he also knows 3 spells.
Correct.
So,
and
something else I thought, I thought apprentices only had 2 spells, but that could be wrong. We don't know, but I was assuming that based on some other things that we read.
Yeah.
So it looks like he might get an extra spell.
And the Fountain of Youth becomes the attribute spell for all his non-bound spells.
Right, and the Fountain of Youth is you basically can heal a wound. Was it within 12 inches? It's
heal a wound within 12.
Unless you have the thrown up, in which case you can actually raise a wound.
Raise a wound within 12 if it stays where it is, what it was
yes.
before.
If nothing
we're
has
basing
changed.
this on what we know,
Yes.
which is that that's what it did.
That's what we think. Yes.
High Priest must gain. Sorry, but you must gain an additional 2 spells.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I know you only wanted 1, but you must gain 2.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, that's kind of funny how some of that stuff's written.
It is.
This kind of scares me, and I'll tell you why. And that's the Fountain of Youth piece of this.
Yes.
Means you heal a wound.
Yep.
With what we talked about earlier with their
attribute spell, or whatever it is, a trait spell,
racial spell,
racial trait, or whatever.
With
it is,
their racial spell.
Don't get racial on me.
We're gonna have to. But with your racial spell preventing wounds, and now this healing wounds, just normal spell casting healing wounds. I don't know. Is this going to be the unkillable dragon? You lost a point of toughness, but that's fine. I'll get wounds back everywhere else.
Yeah.
Anyway, just that's a concern. Initially,
this is to me is a buff for this particular.
It's a buff for this honor.
Particular honor, which is, okay if people weren't taking it, but
no, I kept seeing it used a lot.
Yeah, so did I. But I didn't think this one particular one needed a buff, but okay, they gave it a buff because this army needs lots of buffs, it seems. At least from what we can tell from the post.
Hadn't noticed that much, but whatever.
So, but yeah, it's the stacking that may send this over the top a little bit.
Yep. Anyway,
nice thing.
It looks like a very nice thing. Like I said, the only concern I have is this stacking with the other thing to prevent wounds, raise wounds. Anyway, just looks very scary.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what the things the Sylvan Elves and the Dread Elves get to be match this type of thing.
Don't be looking for matching. Matching doesn't happen.
Well, you can't actually look at armies across from one another anyway, but I'm just being a smart aleck.
I know you are.
Because it's our channel, I can say whatever the hell I want.
That brings us to the Reaver chariot.
Okay, we lost. There you go.
Did I lose my spot?
Yeah, it's just kind of in the funny area.
Okay. Bring you the renowned Reaver
The
chariot.
new Reaver chariots. Keep going.
And a bunch of talking about what the hell.
What does it look like go down?
I meant. Oh, many ideas were explored. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
that's just the
That
background.
scared me.
You can read the background on the site.
Thank you.
know.
So the Reaver chariot. It's still one model, can add up to 3 more models.
Yes.
The big thing here, a big thing I first pops out at me is the march becomes 14.
14. So
which
it seems to be based on some of the other things we've seen that they're going to make light chariots march fast.
that would be nice.
Which I think is a nice rule.
So you're going to lose Vanguard, but now you have a march of 15. I mean a 14.
14. That's fine. I have no problem with that.
So it lets it keep up with your army. It lets it get
Right.
into place. I like this.
You can take over the cavalry army and actually keep up to a
I
certain
like
degree.
that change.
I like that change too.
Don't forget your cavalry's 18. But anyway.
Still, you're in the zone.
Now this is the one I'm not sure about where it lost a hit point.
Yeah, this one doesn't seem so good.
That kind of concerns me.
So it's 3 hit points.
3 toughness, 4, 5 up armor.
Resilience
hit
4, 5
points.
up armor. So
I mean, that's really fragile. If fragile.
it's super fragile.
If
Super fragile.
the way I'm seeing it, it just looks fragile.
And it doesn't have. It's got light troops. So if you take a unit of them, at least they can free reform.
Yes, and you are
may
doing
have to.
D6 strength 5 impacts.
Yeah, just
Of course, the elves still haven't, in those millions of years old, they still haven't learned that putting sharp sticks on the side of
yeah,
your wheels
they can't
gives you
use
+1.
size are mean. They just they can't do
Is
that.
it just rude? Is that what it is?
That's okay. They haven't learned how to build armor either to stop arrows from killing them at a distance or
Okay.
anti magic capabilities. They haven't been around very long.
Okay. So you still have that problem. The one thing they did add apparently is the ability to upgrade a model to each of champ, musician, standard bearer.
Right.
Again, I don't see adding 20 points for a champion. I just don't see it.
If
that's what those stay at.
well, I mean, we don't. I mean, hopeful. I mean,
No.
I personally hate that you have to pay for these upgrades anyway.
Yes.
At the point cost, it's just consistent no matter what you have. If it's 20 points each as it currently is, because I've got to believe that with the reduction to 3 hit points, this thing's got to be a heck of a lot cheaper.
It's got to be cheaper than it used to be, I would think.
Yes. So,
I mean, it used to be 150 for the first one.
right.
I'm expecting that to go down to maybe 120. The
I think
additionals used to be 120. I would think
for
they go
3
down to
toughness
90.
4.
Well, no, I think they don't. I mean, the first one's going to be priced high. It always is because they don't
Yes.
want you to use them as a single model redirector stuff. Just that's the way they do deal with these.
Understand, but I can't imagine him being over 100 points. I just can't.
Well, the additionals I think will drop way down.
I mean, even the first one, I just can't imagine.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the points.
I mean,
are.
we'll see, but yeah, it's like unless they try
mean,
to build
you're-
it so you make you take
You're only
units.
losing a quarter of it, so I mean, I don't see it
Yeah.
dropping more than 25%,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, no one took them before
You would see one every now and then.
because for the points compared to what you had to go against, it didn't make any sense.
You would see a lot of players that didn't really know what they were doing using them.
Yes, that is true because they had them painted and they didn't know. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe
Okay.
if they try to reward you to take units of them instead of singles, then yeah, they might do that. But then the follow models have to be dirt cheap. But yeah, single one, if it's about, you could pay 60 points for an upgrade on one model.
No, 20 per model.
May upgrade one model to each of the following.
Right. You still have to have 3 models to get all 3
Oh,
of
I'm
these.
sorry, I misread that. I thought it was upgrade one model
Oh, you thought you could pay 60 points and make
and
one
put it on
model
put
all
it
of
on
them?
one model. Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
No, that's not happening.
So okay, well that's better because that was kind of scary. If you did take a unit of 4 of them, they killed your champion. You lost all your
Oh,
bonuses.
you lost your champion
Yeah,
with standard?
Yeah, yeah,
No.
Yeah.
At least I don't think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I hope not. So
Okay.
if they make this thing really cheap, it's fine. Otherwise,
If it came with a 25% price reduction or a little bit more because it wasn't
I
used much
think it'd be more
before,
than 25%.
then I think it's going to be okay.
it'll be.
And the March move itself is a benefit
It is. It
than
is.
what it used to be.
It's
So
definitely a benefit. But yeah,
anyway, so that's the Reaver chariot. And then they had a third update, which was the Panoply. Panoply? I don't know.
Panoply.
Whatever. Of Forgotten Princes.
Yes.
Prices?
Yeah.
And like I said, lots of fluff, lots of background.
They give you lots of good fluff and background.
Done really good with all this. The one thing I don't like is this is all buried in a 4,363
instead of having separate ones for
post
each. But
thing.
yes.
That bugs me.
Yeah.
But at least the links go right to where we're supposed to be going. And here we go. So models on foot only can get this. It's heavy armor enchantment. It works on dragon forged armor.
Right.
Gives you +2 armor and +2 defensive skill.
Yes.
So +2 armor is cumulative with the base armor bonus, which can be either heavy armor or dragon forged. So you have the option of having an armor that grants a total of +4 armor, +2 defensive weapon skill, plus and a 6-up ward and fireboard.
Yep.
So this gives you a 2-up armor with a guy on foot, unless there's another piece like a shield that gives you a +1 protection. You know, a bonus to a shield, another enchantment.
Right.
That gives you a shield that gives you +2
but clearly
armor.
you can get a 2-up on a foot guy.
Yes, obviously you can get a 2-up with this and a shield.
Yes.
You've got a 2-up save on a foot guy, which is really nice. I actually kind of like that.
And +2 defensive skill, and elves already have very high defensive skills, so
yeah,
you may have a 7 or an 8.
Well, somewhere they mentioned down here, and basically with parry, basically you can end up with a 10 defensive skill on a prince.
Well, that's if you took is it just a parry, or is that using the stupid enchanted blade?
No, I think that's just
you can throw an enchanted blade with a shield. Yeah,
throw in an enchanted blade with a shield or enchanted shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. Anyway, not a weapon titled enchanted blade, just a magic weapon.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically you can bump yourself up to weapon defensive skill 10 on a prince.
Yeah, so which pretty much means that really bad stuff's hitting you on 6s, and most things are hitting you on troops are hitting you on 5s.
Yes, only characters.
Only characters are going to hit you on 4s. In some elite troops, maybe.
Right. And so somehow throw distracting in there somewhere, and it's even better.
And then if you get distracting on him, he'll be almost impossible to hit, except for a lot of things. Yeah,
and of course with that you've got a good armor save to save those that get through.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so this
looks nice. Looks like it's very helpful.
That is a very nice defensive weapon. Give him that spear and. Life is golden.
Yeah, we won't talk about the spear.
Yeah,
we've already discussed that.
yes, we have. But this is a very nice defensive ability.
It is. Yep, good additions. All right,
I like that one. Yeah,
those are the 3 additions we missed from the last time, and that's going to wrap it up.
That's it.